LeBron James. His greatness speaks for itself. LeBron has already broken numerous records throughout his career. This includes a number of different regular season and playoff records. He's first all-time in points scored in the playoffs with about 1,000 more points than the second-place Michael Jordan. He's first all-time in consecutive regular season double-digit scoring games with over 800. He's first all-time in points scored in the All-Star game. He's first all-time in a couple of different advanced stat categories like box plus minus and VORP. He's the youngest player to ever score 30,000 points. The list goes on and on. However, there are a couple of records that LeBron has yet to break, but by the end of his career, I think he most certainly will. How's it going, fellas? My name's Andy, and here are 5 records that I believe LeBron will break by the time his NBA career is over. First off, honorable mention to his consecutive final streak. The record is Bill Russell with 10 consecutive appearances. As of this video, LeBron's currently at 8, but because he's now in the Western Conference, it's probably gonna end. If he was still in the East, then I'd say he'd 100% break the record, but because he's not anymore, I don't think he will. Alright, number 5, most playoff games played. Right now, LeBron has played a total of 239 playoff games. The record is currently held by Derek Fisher with 259. LeBron will for sure break this record, maybe even by the end of the 2019 playoffs. In order to do that, he'd have to play 21 more games, which means he'd have to at least make the Western Conference Finals. I'm not sure he will, as he might not break it that quickly. It might take another 2 playoff runs, but eventually he will. I knew Fisher was first for a while, but I forgot why, but then I realized he played like an extra 50 playoff games at the end of his career with OKC. A few years ago, I also thought Duncan at 251 would pass him too, but his retirement kinda came out of nowhere. Number 4, most turnovers ever. This is only for the regular season, as LeBron already broke the turnover record for the playoffs. In the regular season, LeBron's sitting at 3,966 total turnovers. Number 1 on the list is Karl Malone with 4,524. For the past 2 seasons, LeBron's turnover rate has been surprisingly a lot higher than before. He's had a 16.1 turnover percentage and averaged over 4 per game, which were the highest turnover seasons of his career. If he continues to average 4 per game and plays about 75 games per season, he'll pass Karl Malone in about 2 more seasons. Maybe he won't turn the ball over as much in LA, but regardless, he'll eventually break this record. It's not a great record to break. For example, both Kobe and Jason Kidd have played in about 200 more regular season games, but only have 40 more turnovers than LeBron. It makes sense when you think about it though. LeBron scores just as much as Kobe, but he also passes the ball just as much as Jason Kidd. So it's reasonable why his turnovers are a bit higher. If anything, I'm surprised LeBron only averages 3.5 turnovers for his career, as guys like James Harden and Russell Westbrook in the last few seasons have been averaging like 5. Number 3, total playoff assists. Now, this one is a bit hard. Magic is currently at number 1 with 2,346 playoff assists. That's almost 700 more than LeBron. On average, he's been getting about 150 assists per playoff run, so if he continues this average for the next 4 years and then play another year after that, then he's going to break it. But because he's on the Lakers and he's now in the West, he probably won't be getting as deep into the playoffs as before, so he's gonna have fewer assists. If we assume he only gets like 100 assists per playoff run, he'd have to play like 7 more years to break the record. But that's on the lower end of the spectrum, so I can see it happening actually. LeBron is probably the most well-conditioned NBA player of all time, and he most likely will continue to play after his 4-year Lakers contract is over. Number 2, most All-NBA selections. LeBron currently has 14. This is a great category because it just shows LeBron's insane longevity. He's only 33 years old and has at least 4 more years left in the NBA. Yet he's only 1 All-NBA selection away from tying Kobe, Kareem, and Tim Duncan for the most in NBA history. Those 3 have 15, and unless LeBron all of a sudden becomes really bad, he's definitely gonna break the record. In fact, he already has the record for the most first-team All-NBA selections with 12, which is also insane. So yeah, there's no way he doesn't break this record. And number 1, total points scored. This record has been standing for a long time, about 20 years in fact. By the end of Kareem's career in 1989, he set the record for the most regular season points ever with 38,387. LeBron is currently at 31,038. Recently, LeBron's been averaging about 2,000 points every season, a bit under that, so by the end of his Lakers contract, there's a real chance he's going to pass Kareem. Even if his points drop a bit and he scores like, I don't know, 1,800 per season, that's like what, 7,200 in 4 years? That's almost enough to pass him already. That's only like 23 points per game. I'm also assuming that LeBron stays healthy like always, and if he doesn't break the record during the duration of his contract, he could continue to play after that. And if he does, he will break it. I also think it's funny that 4 of the guys on this list are former Lakers: Fisher, Kobe, Magic, and Kareem. And LeBron could pass all of them while being in a Lakers jersey. I don't know how Lakers fans are gonna feel about this, but yeah, that's pretty interesting. Anyway, that's all folks. Those are 5 records that I think LeBron will break by the end of his career. Some of them are without a doubt going to happen, but others, like the scoring record and the playoff assist record, he might cut it close. But it all depends if he stays healthy, and I'm sure nobody's going to bet against LeBron's health. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Are there any other records you think LeBron will break? I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time. Peace.